Droopy, welcome to the Hollabbey Homestead. It's time for a garden update. Come on in. So lots has changed and grown in the garden, but I will say that I haven't cut the grass in here for a while, so it looks a bit weedy and it looks a bit crappy. Hopefully next year we can put stone down in between the beds, but for now I'm just pre-apologizing for kind of the mess in between the beds. But I will take the camera off this tripod and kind of give you an up close of what's going on and what's working and what's not working, and we'll go from there. First of all, let's start off at the cucumber bed. First of all, the sunflower on this side loves it here compared to the sunflower on the other side. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's more sun. Maybe that's why they call it sunflower. Who knows? So this sunflower is gorgeous, and it's taller than me now, and it's doing really good. So you know, it's kind of something I've just kind of left alone. It's doing its thing. The other sunflower is doing okay, but it's just not as tall and grand as this one. The flowers are doing really good here. This is a really hot bed because there's just no shade until like 7 o'clock at night. So I would say that the bed on the other side with the flowers is maybe doing a little bit better because it's just a little too much heat. My cucumbers are growing, and actually I do have some cucumbers that are about to be ready, which I will show you here. I have lots of little cucumbers that are about to be ready, and but I have a problem with these cucumbers, and it's not a major problem. Maybe it's an aesthetic thing, but I like to keep cucumbers off of the soil. And as you can see there, that cucumber was on the soil. I don't know how to explain this, but this year, and this is the only year I've ever had trouble with it, my cucumbers and a couple other things, which I'll show you in the other bed, do not want to climb the trellis. And the first year that I grew with this trellis, everything grew on it, no problem. I didn't even have to, like, you know, train it up the trellis or anything like that. I had no issues. Like, the cucumbers were off the ground. Every day I push these cucumbers back up on the trellis and you know, try to get them intertwined, and some of them do stay intertwined, but the bulk of them just like flop back down, and you know, by the next day it's back down. It has been windy, so I think it's just the wind that's knocking it back down. It's just really frustrating because it's really beautiful when this trellis works and the cucumbers are growing up it and the cucumbers are hanging off, and it's fresh and it's nice. And so, but it's not like I can kind of tie everything individually because everything's flopped back down. It's kind of latched onto each other. I don't like it. It's like coming into the garden, like into the flowers, and I just don't like it. So I'm going to try something later in this video after this garden tour, and I'll show you guys whether it was a success or not, but I'm going to try something. So later in this video, we will sort out this cucumber problem. My corn and my chives, there's also a chive bed, is doing excellent. And I think it's going to be a good year for corn. I never actually have luck with corn. It always like looks nice and then last minute never does anything. But I think we're going to have luck this year. This is the healthiest looking corn that I've ever grown. It's tall, it's leafy, like nothing looks weak or anything like that. So corn is doing good. I'm very happy about this. I'm excited about this. Maybe it'll be my first like corn year. I know, that's corny, isn't it? This wild jungle behind me is my tomato bed. Everything is doing okay. I've been pruning it to try and keep it like aerated out and happy and stuff. But I am starting to get some tomatoes, but I have this wild, crazy green tomato plant that is going nuts. And as I found out, it's a husk tomato, or a, what do you call that? Tomatillo? A green tomato? I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And I will show you why it's called, some people call it a husk tomato here in a second. So they're like little, I don't know, paper lanterns, kind of. That's what they feel like. And they're kind of hollow inside right now, although I don't want to squeeze them too tight. But inside the husk that you peel off is a tomato. Super interesting. I've never grown these before. I will grow them again. However, I will not jam them in a bed with a ton of other tomatoes because I didn't realize how huge they get. Like, these things are way bigger, as you can see, than my regular tomatoes. Like, these tomatoes were started actually way before this thing, and this thing just keeps growing. I figure by September it's probably going to be a tree. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful plant, and it's got beautiful flowers that don't look like regular tomatoes. And it's full of these flowers. And the stem is really thick compared to the other tomato plants. I just think it's really neat. This was my never tried it before thing. Try something new every year. This is it. So there are a few husks, as I showed you, and there are some more forming. But the only problem is it's like hanging out of here, and it's running out of room like in there. I already cut a big branch off this morning that was like all the way over here. I don't know, I had no warning, guys. Is it just really happy here, or they normally do this? Like, I didn't realize that they grow so big. But we'll see, and it might not even grow that much fruit because it's too big for its own good. I don't know. It's cool though. It's very cool. Let me know down in the comments if you've grown something like this before, and like if it got really big for you. I really wanted to know if it's just the way it is or what. My little tomato plants, they do have tomatoes, but it's still a bit early. And I'll show you some of the tomatoes. But they're doing okay. Again, I've been pruning these bad boys too, because there's just not enough room, and I underestimated how much room I needed. So I think one of those planes is coming. Okay, so no, I don't live in a war zone. And I don't mean to joke about that, but those planes are huge. They fly really low. that wasn't as low as what they normally fly. They fly by here twice a day, every single day. The fact that they're heading that way means that they're not going to be flying by later tonight at 1 a.m., which some days they're flying back over at 1 a.m. It shakes the whole house. It's super loud. And they fly like really low. I don't know why. Anyways, it always happens when I'm trying to film. They're flying over. That's what that horrific sound is. At least they're not coming back for the rest of the day, so. Nobody told me that I was moving to the middle of nowhere right under a military flight path. Anyways, it's not so bad. I think I'm used to it now. Okay, let me show you some tomatoes that I got going on these other tomato plants. So this plant I bought, it never got any bigger, like any taller. The tomatoes have grown since I bought it. Like when I bought it, I didn't have tomatoes on it. They grew to be this size. The tomatoes are supposed to be red. And then they just stopped growing. And it hasn't done anything for weeks. So it's full of tomatoes. There's no like sign of damage or anything. Like the plant looks healthy. Has anybody got some explanation here? It looked really promising. I thought this was going to be my first plant that gives off tomatoes, but it's not doing anything. Is it diseased? These are on the plant beside that plant with the non-producing tomato. I don't know what kind of tomatoes these are, but I guess we'll find out. This is the same plant. They almost look like some sort of heirloom tomato. I did actually remember to put the tag in the soil, but the name's been wiped off of it at this point. So, I guess we'll find out. So that's my crazy jungle of a tomato bed. I really regret planting it like this. Next year I'm going to do something different because this is just way too jammed up. There's not enough airflow. So I screwed up, but I'm still going to get fruit, but just not as much as what I could. Anyways, moving on. This little bed here is my pumpkin bed. The cucumber beetles came in and started eating the leaves of my pumpkins. So I sprayed some stuff. Seems to have slowed them down enough for these pumpkins to actually start growing. So they look like crap, but I think they might actually grow. But we'll see though. And the two sunflowers here are doing okay. I don't know, they're not as big as what they should be. I don't know, I think I'm just having like a bad sunflower year. I don't know. Maybe they will do something, but maybe they just don't like where they are. This next bed has some peppers, some eggplant, which is my first time growing eggplant. Never tried it before, so I don't know if it's looking good or bad, but we'll get to that. And I got some tomato plants that didn't fit in this jungle, and some onions at the back. So, first of all, the peppers here are doing really well. A lot of them have just started flowering or just finishing flowering. I don't really have much luck with peppers. Like, I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or what, but I did read a comment one time saying that they don't like too much water. So I throttled down on watering these guys. And the peppers in the next bed, which we'll get to. And I did notice a change. So is that the secret? I don't know, because they always look like short little stubby plants that don't want to do anything. But these peppers, they do look like they are going to do something. There are no peppers forming yet, but I think there will be. We'll see. Everything in the garden is we'll see. We'll see. This is my eggplant. Is it normal that the leaves kind of curve inwards, or is it like stressed? Somebody could answer me that one. They've been like that kind of since the beginning, so that's why I tend to think that that's just the way they are. But look at this flower. The new eggplant flowers were so pretty. I definitely didn't. So they've all flowered, no fruit yet, but we'll see. But it is kind of a mystery why their leaves are curled in. Is that just the way they are? Over here, got some wild tomatoes. Another jungle. This is the black crimson tomato, and they just started. See there, of course this leaf is in the way. They just started forming. So there's a couple other big ones there. So we'll see how that turns out. This one is, this row is the beefsteak tomatoes, so they're just the big red tomatoes. And these are my onions. They're just kind of rocking along doing their thing. I could probably cut that branch there because it's bothering it. First weed I've found in a while because everything is such a jungle. Nothing grows under all this. So, yeah. I think everything's on course for some good harvests. This pepper bed, like I just mentioned, I do not have much luck with peppers. They don't seem to do anything. They don't seem to grow very big. I'm not even sure if they are supposed to grow big. Like, I expect them to be like the size of tomatoes, but I don't know. I never have any luck. So, but I did read a comment one day on the good old internet that they don't like water so much. So when I water the garden, I either water a lot less on this bed or not at all. And since I've tried that experiment, they don't look as stressed, because before they were kind of droopy. And they've actually like got some height now. So is that the secret? Is that the big secret to peppers? You don't water them that much? So these peppers are the same as the other peppers. They're starting to flower, or they're just finishing flowering, and hopefully some fruit will happen soon. I really hope I'm successful this year because I'm never really that lucky with peppers. And I have a lot of hot peppers in here, so. And down here is celery. And it's doing okay. It's just doing its thing. It hasn't really, I mean, it's growing, but, you know, you don't really know it's celery until it's celery, right? So I got broccoli here, and it's a bit like wilted because it's so hot. I know I'm burning up right now, so I can only imagine how it feels. I got Brussels sprouts beside it, and I got my bush beans. And on my bush beans, I have my very first bean that started. It even beat the beans over there. But this was pretty when these flowered. I find beans have really beautiful flowers on them, which is not what you expect. I also have onions here. Same as the other onions, you know, they're doing their thing. I don't really bother them too much. This is my salad bed. It's looking a bit haggard right now because it had a haircut because we had a lot of people over on the weekend, and we served an amazing salad. And I packed up some salad for them to take home too. So, you know, it's getting a little hot. It's getting a little stressed. Salad like big people, don't like heat. So, you know, I'm expecting it to bolt. It kind of seems like the endives have bolted already, but everything else looks okay so far. This bed does get into shade by about 4:30 in the afternoon, so I think that does help. But yeah, everything looks great. So now for the garden bed that kind of stresses me out a little bit. Starting over here, this is my wild tomato plant that I planted here because it's supposed to be indeterminate and it's supposed to be like a climber, but it's growing everywhere but the trellis. I don't know why everybody hates the trellis this year, but this is one of them. I've got a big branch jammed in there to kind of push it back towards the trellis, but it still hates the trellis. I spend every single day winding it around the trellis to try and give it some support. I think it's going to need a little repair, kind of like my cucumbers, but we'll see. I do have nasturtiums. Can you see? And my carrots are doing like really awesome. I don't know if you can see those. I'm having a hard time seeing those, but they're just doing their thing. Carrots take a while to germinate and do their thing, and it's been a while and they did their thing, so we're doing good. I got another nasturtium there, and my watermelon in there is finally doing something. So I had a bit of a crisis. The watermelon wasn't doing anything for ages, and I thought it was stunted, and the same thing happened to me last year, so I was like, what the heck, like, why is it doing this? You know, kind of left it at that, but the zucchini beside it, first of all, was getting attacked by cucumber beetles, like full on attacked. And then the leaves were blocking all the flowers and any sort of sunlight for the rest of the plant. Like I had huge like elephant ear leaves. So I Googled, can you prune zucchini plants? Because I'd never done it before and I never had the need to, and I've never actually had zucchini plants like get this out of control. So they said, yes, you can prune them, but cut as close to the base as you can, and don't cut all the leaves off because they still need the leaves to grow, obviously. So I pruned them, which in turn freed the watermelon. And all of a sudden the flowers started to get pollinated, and I've actually got zucchini growing, which is super awesome. So you can see the stems that I've cut. And there's a zucchini there, and there's a couple over there. And the watermelon is latched onto the trellis. So I guess this year has been kind of a bit of a lesson to me, because I've never had a problem with plants getting too big or too out of control. I guess I'm doing something right, am I? Does that mean I'm doing something good? So, yeah, the zucchini's doing great. I did have to spray it with an organic spray, and there's still some cucumber beetles, but not as many, and it seems like the plant is gonna win this battle. I hope it does. Everything looks okay so far. My flowers over here are doing really good. And my favorite part is the beans. So these beans are loving the trellis. I don't even have to like train them up the trellis. They just do their thing. These are scarlet runner beans. And you can see just how far they've grown. Let's see if I can try and get a better angle here. Is that a better angle? Okay, so they've grown up and over. I'll show you up close. So this is the sunflower on this side. It's not as high as that other one, but it's doing okay. But I don't have any beans forming yet. The beans are way over half of the trellis. So along the back here, I kind of have my assortment of plants that I ran out of room to plant anywhere else. I just got through in there. As my aunt would say, plants have two choices: they can live or die. So they chose life in this bed. So I have nasturtiums. I have tomatoes. I have another one of those weird, freaky green tomatoes that I might have to take out because it might just take over everything. I have more nasturtiums. I have, guess what, more tomatoes. More tomatoes, nasturtiums, tomatoes, nasturtiums. I have different kinds of nasturtiums, not just one kind. That's a tomato. And then over here I planted beans that are growing up the inside of the trellis, and they're different colored beans. I think they're yellow and purple beans. And I've also hidden some nasturtiums underneath here. So nasturtiums, beans, tomatoes, cool stuff. But the one thing that I love about Scarlet Runner beans is, can I do this? With these flowers, these buds. These are gorgeous, and you don't expect a bean to actually look this pretty. So guys, that is my garden update, but this video is not over. I am going to, as promised, fix those cucumbers and probably fix that dang tomato plant to the trellis. Are you guys having problems getting your plants going on the trellis? Like, it never was this hard before, and I don't know why it is. It's a mystery to me. I heard somebody else say this about this year in this area. So I don't know. Is it the weather? Is it the plants? Is it the gardener? Anyways, let's fix these cucumber plants and then fix that tomato plant. So here we go. Okay, so I was really interrupted because my phone shut off, so I'm gonna try and say this as quick as I can because I think my phone's getting too hot. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get some twine, some string, if I can talk properly. I'm going to tie it to that post. I'm going to bring it underneath these plants because these plants are kind of bowed out. Tie it here as tight as I can, and then tie some string in between to support it. I think that will pull it off the soil, and then I think eventually it'll be easier for the cucumber vines to latch on the, what are these hand signals? To latch on the trellis. So let's try it. So I'm gonna use baler twine for this job. You can get baler twine at TSC, Tractor Supply Store, PV Mart, or is it Pervy Mart, whatever. I've had this for a lot of years. This is how old it is. I used to have a hay business. I used to cut hay, so I used to buy a lot of these. So it's been a lot of years since I ran my hay business. The last time I bought baler twine, it was $20 at TSC for 2 of these rolls. So I've already used 1 roll, and I just started this roll. So that's how long they last. I don't know how much they cost now. I'm sure they're more than 20 bucks. But baler twine is very tough. And it's very good for gardening. So highly recommend. Anyways. Let's see how well this goes. I don't know if it's going to go well. Okay. I'm going to leave my scissors at this end. I'm going to lay it out first to tie it. But I'm going to have to go... I just found 2 giant cucumbers that I didn't know I had that are probably going to be ready tomorrow. So, it's a good thing that I'm doing this. I wouldn't have known otherwise, because this cucumber bed is such a disaster. Well, I probably would have left it till it was too late. Okay, it's tied. Hopefully it'll stay there. And, oh look, there's some more cucumbers that I didn't know about. Surprise! The gift that just keeps on giving. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to torque this enough to pull this off, but we shall try. Now the only thing that really sucks about the other twine is how hard it is to cut. These fiskars could literally cut your damn finger off. But you couldn't cut baler twine to save your life. Oh my! This is going to be a 5-minute video on how to cut a little thread. Okay. I'm going to turn off the camera because I don't want to waste valuable battery power. We're back again. So you know what I just did? I just went like this on the side of the bed and the twine broke. Really? Really, Fiskars? Okay. I don't know how well this is gonna work. It seemed like a great idea in my head, but I don't know if it is in real life. Oh, you know, it might work though. Yeah, I can live with that. Although, I might have broken some cucumbers. But you will see. Okay. Is this gonna work? I think it's gonna work. So, I need some more twine. Where did that dog go? Okay. I need some more twine to give it support in the back. And now it's gonna be another 5-minute montage of me trying to cut some twine. Just bear with me. Why didn't it work last time? What? Okay. So this middle part is the worst part. This is the offending party. So I am going to loop that there. Just put it there so I don't lose it. I'm gonna cut another piece because I'm gonna torque it. Well, not literally, but guess what? This is all tangled up now. Why you do this to me? Okay. Why are they cutting all of a sudden now? This is unreal. Okay. I tied there. Let's tie something here. Yeah. That's gonna work. Okay. I'm gonna move the camera so y'all can see this. This is called a plant facelift. Okay, now what? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking there. Maybe I can stand on one. Yeah, that works. I was standing on one string so I can tie the other string. I just gotta remember not to lift my foot up here while I tie this. Oh, I'm so happy this worked. I did not think this was gonna work. This feels like 50 Shades of Grey vegetable edition. Okay, let's tie this other one. I'm gonna tie these together just in case they decide to give her. Yeah. I can't believe that worked. It worked. I think I'm gonna add some more pieces though, so bear with me here. This side is kind of droopy, so I'm gonna add a string here. Why does this work so well? I feel like I just hacked life's greatest secret right now. I apologize for the weird angle. My phone is getting hot, so I'll try to do this quickly. I can live with that. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. That is much better. It's gonna be easier to water too. So that lifted everything like right up where it should be. It's kind of like no wire versus wire bra. Woohoo, that worked. Okay. I'm actually really surprised how well this turned out, but let's try it on the tomato plant. Will this work for the tomato? Who knows? The tomato does look pretty good right now because I did kind of prop it up in the trellis, but knowing what it normally does, by tomorrow morning it'll be all fallen over and look like crap. So let's just do this. Now, if you are going to do this, you want to make sure that you're not trapping any branches or bending anything. So I'm going to have to go down here to cut it. Okay. Let's feed this through here. Well, that worked, didn't it? Tie your plants up, they like it. So I was thinking about tying up the zucchini, but I think I'm going to leave it for now. I don't want to get carried away here, because this might not actually be good for the plant, so, but find out. I might tie up the zucchini later on, but they do look good. I'm really happy about the cucumbers. I think that actually saved them from from the cucumbers actually getting rot from sitting on the ground. And this tomato was just getting out of hand, so it needed to be tied up. So, well guys, I hope that you enjoyed my little garden tour and my fix for my cucumbers and my tomatoes. And I'll let you know if that works or not. I don't know if it's gonna hold up, because of the weight of the plant, so we'll see. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next video. We'll see you then. Bye.